Well, your Chinese is grammatically correct, but it just doesn't sound right. You are using the exact phrases from a textbook. But when you're trying to speak to locals, they're either confused or laughing. Why? If you have been there, I get it. Actually, many Chinese people living in English-speaking countries face the same issue. Sure, they have learned tons of English phrases, but when it comes to real conversation, they end up sounding too formal and stiff. Imagine this. Instead of just asking, "Excuse me, could you show me where the toilet is?" you hear something like, "I beg your pardon. I humbly beseech you to kindly direct me to the nearest restroom facilities," if it is not too much trouble.
Whilst the screech owl, screeching loud, puts the wretch that lies in woe in remembrance of a shroud.
This might sound a bit exaggerated, but if you ask a Chinese student who's just arrived abroad, "How are you?" I bet 99 of them will reply with, "Fine, thank you. And you?" Why? Because that's exactly how they were taught in the textbook.
Sir, कुछ भूल गया हूँ sir.
क्या?
Instruments that record, analyze, summarize, organize, debate and explain information that are illustrative, non-illustrative, hardbound, paperback, jacketed, non-jacketed, with forward introduction, table of contents, index that are intended for the enlightenment, understanding, enrichment, enhancement and education of the human brain through sensory route of vision, sometimes touch.
I'm not saying textbooks are wrong, but here's the thing. To make sure they are not wrong, textbooks tends to use perfect, standard language. And that's great, unless you want to sound natural. Because guess what? Real conversations aren't about perfection or following strict sentence structures. They are about being flexible and authentic. So here's the truth. If you want to sound like a native, you need more than textbook phrases. You need the phrases that exactly flow in daily lives, the kind locals use. And those expressions, they change depending on where you are, who you are talking to, their accent and even their personality. In this video, we are going to cover some phrases that will help you interact naturally with locals. Whether you are socializing, asking questions, expressing desires, or making polite requests. By the end of this video, you will be able to use these phrases confidently in your own conversations. So let's start. You might have made some Chinese friends, and they know you have been learning Chinese. One day, a friend asks you, 你最近怎么样? How have you been lately? You think, yes, I know exactly how to respond. Without hesitation, you proudly replied, 我一般般, I'm so-so. But guess what? It's textbook Chinese and makes you sound a bit awkward. Or maybe you use 马马虎虎, so-so, or just okay. These are classic phrases you will find in Chinese textbooks, usually meant to show modesty. Okay, sure, your friend will get what you mean, but does it feel real? Does it sound like the way actual Chinese people speak? Not really. The truth is, using the phrase like 我一般般 makes you sound like a textbook. So, what's the better, more natural and authentic options? Here's the phrase, 还不错. Not bad. It's simple, it's natural, and it shows you are actually living life, not just reading off a page. It's a phrase you will hear Chinese speakers use every day, and it's exactly what you need to sound more authentic. 还行吧. It's fine. Look, sometimes you are just not feeling it. Maybe you are not in a mood to be all positive, and 还不错 just feel like too much. Then here's an alternative for you. 还行吧. It's fine. It's the perfect phrase when you're doing okay, but don't feel like giving off that everything's okay vibe. You are not complaining, you're not bragging, you're just keeping it real. And yes, you can use 一般般 or 马马虎虎, but instead of saying 我一般般, try saying 一般般吧, 马马虎虎吧. It sounds much more natural. Let's hear how the conversation goes with these expressions. 你最近怎么样? How have you been lately? 还不错. Not bad. 你最近怎么样? How have you been lately? 还行吧. It's okay. 一般般吧. So-so. So, let's repeat again. 你最近怎么样? How have you been lately? 还行吧. It's okay. 一般般吧. So-so. Alright, during the casual chat, you might get curious about what the other person does for work. So, you put out your Chinese learning notes and ask, 你的工作是什么? What's your job? Or, 你的职业是什么? What's your professions? Sure, these are technically correct, but let's be honest, they are stiff textbook language. It's like you're conducting a survey, trying to collect personal information. So, what's a more casual way to ask? Try, 你是干什么的? What do? You can also add 你是干什么工作的 What kind of work do you do? But if you don't want to sound too casual, you can also go with 你是做什么的 What do you do? This is more neutral and works well in many situations, whether you're just meeting someone or chatting with a friend. These are the phrases you will hear all the time in daily conversations. Now, let's move on to another similar casual expression that's just as useful. 这是干嘛的 What's this for? You are walking around and see something new, but you have no idea what it does. Naturally, you will want to know. So, you can ask, 这是干嘛的 Now you might be thinking, I have also learned 这有什么用途 What's the use of this? Or the longer phrase, 这是用来干什么的 What is it used for? And yes, those are also correct, but here's the thing. They sound a bit more formal and textbook-ish. 这是干嘛的 is what you will often hear locals say in their everyday chats. If you want something less casual but still authentic, you can also say 这是做什么的 What is this used for? 麻烦你 Could you? Okay, let's talk about making polite requests in Chinese. You have probably learned how to say 请你 please in textbooks. Sure, it's polite, but honestly, it can sound a little stiff and formal in real conversations. Here's the more natural and casual way to ask for something. 麻烦你 Could you? It's still polite, but it's much more relaxed and authentic. Now, let's use the classic phrase that every Chinese learner has encountered. 请你再说一遍. Please say that again. While this is perfectly polite, it's a bit stiff. You wouldn't hear locals saying this as often. Instead, you could say 麻烦你再说一遍. Could you say it again, please? Still polite, but sounds much more natural. Here's another example. Imagine you are at a restaurant and need to take some leftovers with you. 麻烦你帮我打包. Could you pack this up for me, please? Thank you. It's still polite, but sounds more natural and friendly. 一路顺风. Have a smooth journey. Next, let's talk about wishing someone a good trip. In English, you might say, have a great trip or safe travel. In Chinese, it does exist the expression 祝你旅途愉快, wishing you a pleasant journey. But that's something you'd hear from a flight attendant, not your friend. Instead, we use 一路顺风, have a smooth journey. It's a friendly, natural way to wish someone well on their trip. If your friend is heading out for a fun night or a holiday trip, you can also say 玩得开心, have fun. It's simple and perfect to telling someone to enjoy themselves without sounding too formal. 喜欢就好, as long as you like it. Okay, imagine you have been on a trip and brought your Chinese friend a little souvenir. Your friend loves it and say 谢谢你, 我很喜欢. Thank you, I really like it. Now, how do you respond? Are you thinking of 很高兴你喜欢我的礼物? I'm happy you like my gift. That sounds like it's straight out of textbook or Google Translate. Very robotic. Instead, we say 喜欢就好. As long as you like it. It's simple, it's natural, and it's modest. You're happy they like the gift, but you are not going to make a big deal out of it. It's a great way to keep things relaxed and down to earth. Well, you don't have to be modest though. If you want to be proud of your choice, go ahead and say 我就知道你会喜欢. I knew you like it. Even though you are speaking a foreign language, you can still showcase your personality. 不到, nearly. Okay, let's shift our focus and look at the casual way to speak numbers. Let's say you have been learning Chinese for nearly a year. How do you say nearly a year? How about 将近一年? Ooh, nearly a year. 将近 is a HSK 6 vocabulary. Pretty advanced, right? Here's an authentic expression that you might hear. You can say 一年不到. Here's the pattern. Round number plus 不到 means nearly plus number. For example, you're 28 or 29 years old. So you can say I'm nearly 30. How do you use this pattern? Right, 我30不到. Here's another example. If someone asks you, what time is it? 现在几点了? And it's 6:55. What can you say? Yes, 7点不到. It's nearly 7 o'clock. This pattern is a more relaxed and natural way of expression nearly or almost in Chinese. 回头见, see you later. Finally, let's talk about saying goodbye in Chinese. I know you have learned 再见, but let's learn something different. In English, you might say have a nice day when you're parting away. You have learned how to say, and literally translated into Chinese is 祝你有美好的一天. Have a nice day. Sure, it's a nice gesture, but here's the thing. Don't expect to hear it back from your Chinese friends. It's not just something we say in daily conversations. Instead, we keep it simple. 回头见. See you later. Short, easy, and way more natural, especially if you are likely to see this person again. Another casual option is 有空一起吃饭. Let's have a meal together when you are free. Or 有空一起出来玩. Let's hang out together when you are free. These phrases are often used to say goodbye in a relaxed way. Even if you don't actually plan to hang out, it's a friendly way to part ways while showing you'd like to meet them again. Here's another friendly expression for you. 保持联系. Keep in touch. Perfect for in-person or online chats. And if it's evening and you want to show your care a little more, say 路上小心. Be careful on the road. It's a genuine way to show you are thinking about their safety, adding a personal touch to your goodbye. So, to wrap up, we have covered quite a few phrases that will help you sound more natural and authentic when speaking Chinese. You have learned 还不错, not bad, for when you are doing okay. 你是干什么的? For casual question about someone's job, 这是干嘛的? What's this for? When you want to know what something is used for. And don't forget, for polite request, 麻烦你, could you, is the go-to phrase. And when you're wishing someone well, try 一路顺风, have a smooth journey, or 玩得开心, have fun, instead of the more formal expression when you might have learned from textbooks. Now, it's your turn to practice. Which phrase will you try first? Let me know in the comment below. If you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you next video. 回头见. See you later.